Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Vision Podcast. I am John, and I'm here with my co host, Sarah. In this podcast, we speak clearly and at a comfortable pace to help you improve your English listening skills while we talk about real life topics.
Hello, everyone. It is great to be here with you all again.
How are your English studies going this week, Sarah? And more importantly, how are you feeling today?
My studies are going, well, thank you. But to be honest, I'm feeling a little bit tired today. Actually, tired does not feel like the right word. I have so much work and my English classes and cooking at home. My brain feels completely full and I feel a little heavy. Is there a better word for this feeling?
I completely understand that feeling, Sarah. And that brings us perfectly to our topic for today. Today, we are taking a deep breath and talking about stress, mental health, and self-care. It is so important to know how to express these feelings in English. When you say your brain is full and you have too much to do, native speakers usually say they are feeling overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. That is a long word. Can you explain what it exactly means?
Of course. Think of the ocean. Imagine you're standing in the water and a giant wave crashes over your head and pushes you under the water. That physical feeling of being pushed under is what overwhelmed means for your mind. It means you have so much stress or so many tasks that you feel like you cannot breathe or manage it all.
That is exactly how I feel. The wave is crashing over me. So I can say, I am feeling overwhelmed today.
Exactly. It is a much better and more accurate phrase than just saying, I'm tired or I'm sad. Feeling overwhelmed is very common. Another phrase we use a lot in English, especially related to work or studying, is burnout.
Burnout, like a fire that stops burning.
That is a perfect way to picture it, Sarah. Think of a candle. If you leave a candle burning for a very long time, eventually all the wax melts and the fire goes out. There is nothing left to burn. When a person experiences burnout, it means they have worked so hard for so long with so much stress that they have no energy left. They feel completely empty and exhausted.
I think I have felt burnout before when I was taking my university exams. I studied for 12 hours a day for a month. At the end, I could not even look at a book. I had no energy. That was burnout.
Yes, that is a classic example of burnout. It is when stress goes on for too long without a break. This is why we need to talk about our mental health. Mental health is just as important as physical health. If your leg hurts, you rest it. If your mind hurts, you need to rest it too.
That makes a lot of sense. But John, sometimes it is hard to rest. For example, what if my friend invites me to a dinner party, but I'm feeling overwhelmed, I do not want to go, but I do not want to be rude? How can I tell my friend that I cannot come because of my mental health? In my native language, I know how to be polite, but in English, I only know how to say I'm tired, I cannot come.
That is a great question. We want to be honest, but kind. One very natural phrase you can use is, I have a lot on my plate right now.
I have a lot on my plate, like food.
Yes, exactly like food. Imagine you're at a buffet restaurant. You take a plate and you put chicken, rice, salad, bread, and soup on it. Soon, the food is falling off the plate because there is too much. In English, we use plate to mean our schedule or our responsibilities. If you have a lot on your plate, it means you have too many things to do.
Oh, I like that phrase. So I can tell my friend, thank you for the invitation, but I have a lot on my plate right now.
Yes, that is perfect. Another natural phrase is, I need to recharge.
Recharge, like a mobile phone battery.
Exactly. We compare our energy to a phone battery. When your phone battery is at 1%, you plug it into the wall to recharge it. When your body and mind are at 1%, you need to stay home, rest, and recharge your energy. So you can say, I would love to see you, but I really need to stay home and recharge tonight. A good friend will always understand that.
I love that. I need to recharge. It sounds very positive. You're not just saying no to the friend, you are saying yes to taking care of yourself.
That is a beautiful way to look at it, Sarah. Saying yes to taking care of yourself is what we call self-care.
Self-care, I see this word on social media all the time. People post pictures of themselves taking a long bath with candles or buying expensive face creams, and they write self-care. Is that what it means?
That can be part of it. Taking a relaxing bath is nice, but real self-care is much deeper than just buying things or taking baths. Self-care means doing things that protect your mental and physical health. Sometimes self-care is going to sleep early, sometimes self-care is drinking a glass of water instead of coffee, and very often self-care is about setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries. I know the word boundary means a line between two countries, like the boundary between Canada and the United States. How do you set a boundary for yourself?
That is the exact same concept. A boundary is an invisible line you draw around yourself to protect your time and energy. It is a rule you make to teach other people how they are allowed to treat you. For example, if your boss calls you at 8 o'clock at night when you're eating dinner with your family, and you decide not to answer the phone because you're not working, you're setting a boundary.
That is difficult for me. I always feel guilty if I do not answer the phone. I feel like I have to say yes to everyone.
It is very difficult for most people, even native speakers, but setting boundaries is essential to stop burnout. You're telling people my time to rest is important. You can use simple phrases to communicate your boundaries. For example, at work you can say, "I'm not available after 5 o'clock, but I will check your message first thing tomorrow morning."
I am not available after 5 o'clock. That sounds very professional and clear. I need to practice saying that in front of a mirror.
It takes practice. Let us review some of the vocabulary we have talked about today. Instead of just saying you're tired, what can you say if you have too much stress pushing you underwater?
I can say I'm feeling overwhelmed.
Perfect. And what happens if you work too hard for too long and you have no energy left, like a candle with no wax?
That is called burnout.
Exactly. And if a friend asks you to go out, but you need to stay home to get your energy back like a phone battery, what do you say?
I can tell them I would love to, but I really need to stay home and recharge, or I can say I have a lot on my plate right now.
Excellent memory, Sarah. And finally, drawing invisible lines to protect your time and energy is called what?
Setting boundaries. And doing this is a form of self-care. It is not just about taking bubble baths. It is about protecting my mental health.
You summarized that perfectly. Learning these phrases helps you communicate your feelings more accurately in English, which actually reduces stress when you're speaking with native speakers. You do not have to hide behind the words sad or tired anymore. You have the tools to express your true feelings.
Thank you, John. This conversation actually made me feel a little bit better. Just knowing the words to describe my stress makes the stress feel smaller.
I am so glad to hear that, Sarah. Remember, everyone feels overwhelmed sometimes. Taking a deep breath, stepping back, and taking time for yourself is nothing to feel guilty about. It is necessary.
I will definitely try to recharge this weekend. Maybe I will turn off my phone for a few hours.
That sounds like a wonderful boundary to set. Well, that brings us to the end of our conversation for today. We hope all of you listening found this helpful, not just for your English, but for your mental well-being too.
Yes, please remember to take care of yourselves. Your health is the most important thing.
Before we go, we have our question of the day for our listeners. We want to hear from you. Here's the question. How do you relax and disconnect after a long, stressful day? Let us know. Write your answers down in the comments below. We read every single one, and we love seeing how you practice your English.
Yes, please write to us. I want to learn some new ways to relax too.
Thank you for listening to the English Vision podcast. Have a peaceful and restful week, and we will see you in the next episode.